So I've just seen this really nice dead bit of hornbeam. So what I'm going to do is just trim that down. It's really nice and straight, and I can use that for a bow drill fire. So I want something about arms kind of length. Always handy to try and get these things before you're needing to do your fire, so I can just carry that with me, use it as a little beating stick, a walking stick, and yeah, it's quite soft, smooth bark, which is really nice. Yeah, just saw that on the way in, I thought that's perfect. It's not too flexible either, it's good and strong. It's got a tiny little split up there, but that's not too much to worry about. In fact, it might actually hold my cordage nicely. Get the saw away. Too easy to put stuff down. So hey guys, hope you're doing well. It's been a little while since I've actually been out on a little day trip. Been really busy with work and yeah, just loads going on. But I thought I'd come out today, just do a little bit of skills practice, do a little bow drill fire, and just have a little catch up with you guys, tell you what I've been up to. I've got some cool, exciting news and some cool things to show you, so yeah, keep tuning in. So it's a lovely June day, not long until my birthday. Got about 9 days or something. So yeah, looking forward to that. Not looking forward to getting older, but it has its perks, I guess. It's good to see some goose grass around, edible. Not that tasty, but definitely edible. I'm just hiking through into some kind of grassy bits, looking for a little spot in the shade where I can just practice a few skills, like I said. That looks like a really nice spot by that rowan. So I'm just going to go in there under the shade and have a little look. Really nice fallen rowan there. It's not nice that it's fallen, but it should survive and just shoot upwards. There's some good coppice material there in the future. So I just noticed that little spot down there. Hopefully should stay nice and in the shade. It looks promising. Hey guys, lovely spot here. This is right underneath these 3 beech trees. Not one for camping, because beech obviously have a tendency of dropping their limbs very unexpectedly, so you've always got to be careful with that. But a good place for future food. Loads of beech nut husks here, so inside those tiny little nuts, you've got to beat the squirrels though, and they're jam-packed full of protein, more than in beef actually, weight for weight. But good luck catching a cow's worth of nuts from the beech trees. So I've actually got a few things with me today that I want to show you, but I'm going to start off just by doing a bow drill demonstration, and then I'm going to move on to a few other little things. So let's get the fire going. It's been quite damp recently, but nevertheless it's really good to get down to bare earth, get rid of all that leaf litter that just only holds a little bit more moisture. Friction fire really is quite dependent on dryness and a good combination of wood and just perseverance and hard work, and definitely technique as well. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to be trying that. I've got with me today a branch that I collected on the way in for the bow. Really nice smooth bit of hornbeam, and it's a good length, about kind of my arm length, a little bit longer. So I've got some paracord with me, and I've also got a willow kit that I made myself. So I've got a few different options here. This actually was a spindle. The spindle is the bit that drives the the friction fire that gets spun. So I split that in half, and I've been using that, or at least one half, for the hearth board to create the friction fire. I have the other half there just in case I need to use that. So I'm going to keep those nice and dry in my bag, or I could keep them in my pockets or something. I just don't want to be laying them down on the wet, because any dampness that goes into these bits of wood will hinder the fire lighting. This is the spindle made from the upper part of that one branch off of some dead standing willow. So really nice kit. I've used it a few times, and I've harvested that from this very woodland myself as well. So I've just cleared that down to bare earth. Now I'm just going to get a row of sticks down, which is going to act as a buffer for my fire, and I'm going to go collect all the kindling and various bits that I need for the fire. So I'll catch up with you once I've done that. These are great kind of matchstick thin little pieces of timber, which are going to be perfect for starting that fire or getting it going once we've got a flame. It's quite a bit of work to a friction fire. I've got to collect a tinder bundle, but I've picked this location not only because it's nice and shaded in this hot day, but because there's loads of grass around. So I'm going to definitely be bound to find some dry grasses. There's loads of leaf litter around, so I'll be sure to be able to find some dry stuff of that. And over in the distance there's some birch, so probably some birch bark as well, which is one of the best fire lighting resources out in the wild. It's got its own kind of tar in it which preserves it, so that's absolutely brilliant. So this just acts, like I said, as a little platform for the fire to go on. It's pretty common in most fire lighting techniques because, like I said before, the ground's quite wet and cold, and that's already a visible insulator. So I've got my small kindling here, I've got some sticks here, and within arm's reach I've got plenty of other size stuff, which is like thumb thickness up, which I can start making another pile with. And it's just good to get your stuff prepped so you're not flapping once you've got a fire, especially with friction fire. So I actually mentioned tinder bundles, and this stuff is going to be perfect. Really dry, crispy sedge. Now there might be a few damp bits in there. You want to really feel that with your hands and pull those out. You don't want that dampness to transfer through. So it might just be a case of getting these middle sections. Like I said, it had rained, to get the sheltered bits that are right directly under these leaves, knowing that the tails at the bottom there are more likely to be wet. So I can grab those drier bits, feel that out, and get rid of those. Now, if I was going to be here for a long time, I'd probably just keep these in my pocket to start drying out as well. Especially if there was more imminent bad weather coming in, and I could dry some by the fire. There's going to be loads more under here that you can see. I'm really looking for that dry, crunchy kind of sound. If you feel any dampness, just discard it at that point, because it's not worth having that go into your tinder bundle. There's a bit there that I can feel that's damp. I want to get that out. So really nice amount of birch bark there. That's really going to help with that tinder bundle. So some more grass here, which is good and dry. A lot of it's quite damp from where it's been raining, but it's worth just hunting around for some more. I've got that birch bark now, which is excellent. That's really going to aid. But yeah, just want more kind of material. Because the better prepared you are, really, the easier you're making it for yourself. You don't have to do it twice. Generally as well, if you just kind of lightly run your fingers through these without actually trying to grab too much, kind of just tease it through, you kind of get the loose, drier material. Well, I find that anyway. maybe that's just me. But you don't want to pull it too hard anyway, because you might actually get a paper cut, and that's not very nice on your hands. There's some nice dry crispy leaves here on this branch, which is ideal. They're not laying on the ground, so I'm just going to strip those off and use that as the kind of background for my tinder bundle. Means I've got something for my hands to cut that's a bit bigger than grass, and also they also go up as well. So I've got my tinder bundle here now. I've got dried leaves, dried grass, and nestled inside birch bark. So that really should get going nice and strongly, and I'm going to keep that nice and contained just on here. So then once I've done my bow drilling, I can transfer it into that and scoop it up nice and easily and blow it to flame, fingers crossed. So I'm just cutting a notch into the bow now, and that will just stop the knot slipping down. I'm always cutting away from myself because I don't really want to cut myself, especially in the blood triangle. It's a deadly area. Then I'm just making a little stop cut there and just cut a little notch in. You always got to remember to do it the other side as well. I always do it opposite. It doesn't do anything to stop the string. You've got to remember that the string is going to be pulling that way, not that way, so I always put the notch the wrong way. I'm just tying a simple kind of overhand to the granny knot there. Nothing too spectacular. I'll just double it up. I only need it to stay on, so you can see that's not going to go anywhere. Then I just want to tension it up to the other side. There's a bit of a split there, so I can use that to my advantage. Might make the bow a little bit shorter than I was hoping for, as the cordage runs down that split, but we'll be alright. Right, so bow drill fire by friction is actually probably one of the oldest methods of firelighting that's known to man. Friction fire just relies on rubbing two bits of wood against each other to create just that, friction. The friction creates heat. Also, the process drives a dust that builds up underneath where we've cut these notches out of this bit of timber. This is one that I've used before, all from the same branch. In fact, that's the other half, and it was all a spindle that I decided to cut down. I've got a bearing block here which is made out of some stone. It's a river stone that I found. It had a natural dent in it, and I just opened that up even further. So that has less friction, and in fact, if you wanted to, you could get something like this, a green leaf, and just fold it up inside, and that will really keep friction from building up inside there as well. And that is where that sits, on the smallest side of the spindle, to reduce friction again, and obviously you want the most friction on the side that you're bearing into. To create these holes, it's simply a case of using a knife to twist in, which I might have to show you if this doesn't work. I'll probably start using just one of these pre-burnt holes just for a bit more efficiency. The spindle onto the cord by laying it flat against, putting the tip under and then pulling down, and that's nice and tight in there. I can already tell my bag's in the way, so I'm going to move that rather than fight it. Now, you want to keep a good bit of pressure straight down into there and really lock that wrist against your shin, just so that's good and solid. I still wobble, but it's a case of trying not to as best as you can. And just start off nice and slow, which is the case. Let the two bits of wood find their home. And you can start to smell the burning normally before you can see it. And I can see smoke there. So I'm just going to keep on with that momentum. Now it's good to just push this as long as you can. You can see that I'm fighting it a bit. But actually, I think quite luckily I've got an ember there. Nope. Not today. So I've decided to just change position because actually I was on a slight upwards incline there. So my bow, I kept having to lift the front of my bow up and yeah, just kept throwing it. But this is probably why I wouldn't rely on friction fire in the survival situation as well. Unless I really had to, because it can be just a little bit more tricky. That already feels a lot better. In fact, I'm going to just get my foot even closer to that. So we've got good smoke again. So I'm going to just tighten this up a tiny bit. Right, so I've just started that other hole there. I'm just going to burn that in. I'm going to quickly shave around the top of the spindle as well, make sure there's no polished wood. That can sometimes interfere. Get a good surface area on that. And pretty ready to go. So we're just burning on this one, and it shouldn't need anything to collect the dust because I've still got to cut the notch out. So just go until we start seeing smoke. We know we've made that blackened depression. Got smoke coming off the end of there. We know that's nicely burnt in now. Now I still was wobbling here, so I'm not going to actually bow drill here again. Just got to find a nicer flat spot because otherwise I'll just be battling the board, rolling. And in fact what I might do is just flatten the back a little bit more. So to cut the notch, I just normally try to cut a little triangle into there. So I'll just start by rocking the blade on that kind of angle and then doing the same on the opposite side. And then at the bottom, so I've got that little V out now, and on the bottom what I like to do is just widen that out, flare it out so that oxygen can pass a lot better underneath there. Really flare it out. The wider the better, really. So I had a little hiatus and a little break. It's good to have a break sometimes. And yeah, I'm just gonna give it another go. It's never the easiest doing bow drill, so not one to beat yourself up over. And if I really can't do the bow drill right at the moment, I could always just wait and see if I can get it in another little bit, or could use a ferro rod, which I do have with me. It's easy to kind of slip off like that sometimes, especially when the spindle's getting a bit short. We've got an ember there. Still smoking. No, just lost it. We go again, getting to the end of this spindle, I think. It's a shame. Give it another go. Hey, then we got an ember. Yep. Whew. That last little burn, perseverance. I knew the spindle and the set was hot there, and I knew that other ember had almost gone because it was smoking away and then it just fizzled out. So, bit of motivation, push on, keep my damp breath and sweat away from it now, and whew, let's go. It's really important that this tinder bundle is good and secure now, so I can leave that as a little fire just to spread. There's a nice breeze going over it, so that's going to keep it fed. And I'm going to really make sure that this is good and is going to take that, and I can blow it to flames successfully. Right, so while that's burning away, you just see the ember there. I'm going to transfer that into this birch bark and grass bundle that I've got here. Just give him a second to get used to his new home. Sorry I didn't speak much there. I was really trying to blow that to flame and make sure that I wasn't just working myself up, getting a load of sweat on it. But what I was trying to do was just really get air into that bundle and then get those sticks that I prepared earlier onto that fire. It's kind of one of those mesmerizing moments when you're just in the tune, you know, just going with that tinder bundle. You're like, please don't go out, please keep that little small kind of ember alive. But we've got it now, and you can see it wasn't straight off the bat with that. That took a little bit of battling for me, but I'm so proud to have done that. So good to have a fire from rubbing two sticks together. So that was so nice to get that fire lit by friction. Yeah, just good to practice up on, and yeah, always just feels really nice. So I guess a little bit of good news for the channel and for myself. It's been a little while. Every other video that I put out has basically been pre-recorded, so will be the first one that's been out kind of up to date, so to speak. Since my last video where I came out on a day trip and had a little catch up, what's new? What's happened? Well, I passed my DSC1, my Deer Stalking Certificate 1, which is absolutely amazing. It was quite tough, but only in the sense of kind of remembering so many different things, and I keep up to date with those, so I just keep researching it. Even though I've passed, it's always good to keep those at the forefront of your mind. So really proud of that, and obviously I went out on 2 successive stalks afterwards and managed to successfully get 2 Muntjac deer, cull animals. This is the hide that you saw me using, alum tanned on the back, so that's its first bit of proper dirt time, and it will probably get loads more. So yeah, really happy with how it's turned out, and it just means I can do stuff like this and chill by the fire, keep my knees nice and dry. Really happy to have used it for bow drilling as well as a platform. There's a little bit of uneven ground here, so it's always hard to find that little stable area. But I'm going to pack these away now, and I'm just going to get on to cooking a little bit of lunch. I've just got some noodles with me, so I'm just going to probably boil some water on here, have that, catch up with you guys, have a little chat about some stuff coming up which is really exciting, and just spend the day in the woods relaxing. So there's actually some King Alfred's cake. That would have been handy for the bow drill as a spark extender, an ember extender, because that acts like a charcoal. So now I've got a little fire going. I'm just going to chuck my little griddle stand on there, which is really handy. I'll put the link in the description because a lot of people actually ask me where I got this from. It's just a stainless steel folding camp trivet from Amazon. I think it's about £20. Really handy. Just going to put the Tokes titanium mug on there and fill up with some water. I don't need loads, but I'm just going to have some instant noodles with that. So that should be lovely. Just something to pick me up after that bow drill. And yeah, let's have a little chat. So what's been happening with Primal Nomad? I've been just really busy with work, like I said before. This is really the season for brickwork and kind of restoring old buildings. I work with lime mortars. So yeah, just really busy on a project restoring a 17th century property. It's really lovely, really beautiful. And yeah, that's just taken up a lot of my time. I've also been tanning these deer hides, and in the future I'm going to be doing a video. I've got one in the freezer just to do a video dedicated to you guys. I really just wanted to hone in the process on these, and I'm so happy with how it's turned out. I've still got one that I'm leaving, and I'm going to be breaking that in at the community camp with everyone there. And a little word about the community camp, obviously really excited for it. The idea of it was just to share an awesome location. Alex from Community Camps kind of said to me and Craig, would you guys mind being a part of it? So we said, yeah, why not? We'll help promote it, and it's just going to be amazing meeting up with everyone. So yeah, if you're coming along, definitely come along and have a go breaking in the other Muntjac hide, which has been tanning for a while now, and it's been stretched and ready to get broken in. There's going to be loads of good things there. Tom from Back Garden Bushcraft is going to be doing some carving demos, Storb Unlimited, some fungi talks, Jacoby catapults, Des Catties is going to be doing some stuff there. There's going to be York knives, just loads. Hog roast, beers, fun camping, what more could you ask for? And some other news that you might have seen if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook is that I have joined the Solo the Series team. And what is Solo the Series? So there's 10 contestants from, I say contestants, 10 participants from all around the world, 10 different countries, and I've actually been selected as the UK's kind of selection, which is amazing. Really proud to fly the flag for the UK, and the aim of it is for us all to go out on a solo adventure, film it, and it's going to have a narration and kind of musical composition put to it, all edited by the Solo the Series team, So yeah, really exciting news. I'm really looking forward to seeing the different contestants and their kind of local flora, fauna, how they feel about bushcraft. Because obviously over here in England we're blessed with some really nice woodlands, but it's just nice to see what goes on in different countries and what it means to those people. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. Go check out and subscribe to Solo the series on Facebook and YouTube, and hopefully I'll see you on there with my little adventure. So yeah, really excited about that, and obviously it just feels like this year's been a blessing. The DSC won, all of the countless new followers and subscribers, which a massive hi and thank you to you all. And yeah, just things like coming out doing stuff with the bow drill, it's really great for the mind. And talking about the mind, Forage for Freedom, all I can say is just a massive thank you to everyone who's participated, keeps participating. I didn't want it to be this kind of flash thing. I don't want it to be this just hype moment. If one or two people post about it every now and again, and it just brings that awareness about mental health, that's all that it really matters to me. So thank you sincerely to everyone who's helped contribute to that. And I know I said about a giveaway, and I'm very close. I've got a very special kind of giveaway coming up, so keep your eyes peeled for that. 5,555 is when the giveaway will be announced. As soon as that happens, I'm going up the woods, I'm filming a video, I've got all the prizes ready. I'm really excited to share it with you guys, and it's just something I've wanted to do since the kind of beginning of YouTube. 5555, I don't know why, 5's not my favourite number, but it just seems fitting for that kind of midway milestone. But yeah, water's starting to heat up. I'm just going to push this fire under, stop rabbiting, and yeah, get some noodles on. So talking about deer hides, this was a young Muntjac buck that I shot, good cull animal, and I haven't trimmed it and sewed it perfectly. Like there's the hole from the exit wound, but yeah, this is the first time I've used it out, so first time it's been in contact with dirt since it was obviously alive. But yeah, really happy with it. It's not a normal waterproof tan, it is alum tanned. So alum's a very old kind of product, and it's tanned the hide. The hair is nicely set in there, which is really nice, and it's beautifully soft after breaking it in. After maybe 10 or 20 years it will likely degrade. The introduction of water actually makes the alum resort back into kind of like an almost slightly acidic compound, so on a microscopic level it's kind of eating itself away. But nevertheless, really happy with how it's turned out, and yeah, can't wait to share with you guys how to do this. So the water's starting to warm up now, it's starting to steam. It's not boiling yet, but I'm going to introduce this anyway, because it will just take a while to heat up anyway. That's just some instant noodles. And I'll let that all heat through and absorb. So noodles are coming along nicely, definitely swelling, it's getting quite hot. So I'm going to introduce the sauce, and anyone from Old Blighty is going to recognise this straight away as a beef and tomato pot noodle. So I just dropped the pot. Not literally dropped it, just put it in a bag so I could have it in this cup. a tiny bit of salt and pepper in. A very, very welcome little treat. I lost quite a bit of the seasoning powder when I transferred it into the bag, so before all you guys say, bloody hell, there's enough salt in one of those. Probably is, but salt. Gonna have to let that cool down. Very hot. These little Dave Fryers pocket pouches come in really handy for your EDC. I've been using this old multi-tool. It's not actually a Leatherman, but it's very similar. I've had this since I was a very young child, and it's Alpine Forge. The writing's not on it anymore, but I can just about see where it used to be. Alpine Forge. Pretty sure I got this with the Cool Outdoor watch when I was a young kid. So it's got a nice knife, little smaller one, kind of like an awl, flatheads, can opener, tin openers, a bit for like a Allen key kind of bit. It's also got spanner socket kind of bits in there. It's also got a fish scaler. It doesn't have a saw on this one, but has a fish scaler which probably could back up as a saw, a ruler and a file, so handy for keeping your axe sharp. But yeah, one I've had for literally probably like 12 when I got that, and yeah, still works a treat. Gonna let that fire burn down now. While I enjoy this, and yeah, when I wash this out, I'll use the water to put the fire out, give it a good covering over, and then be on my way. Oh, that was lovely. Good and filling. Just an easy snack, really. I know some of you might think noodles are so easy and cheap, but that's exactly why I did it. I'm just going to rinse this with the rest of that water. I'm going to have a drink. Less weight to carry out then. So it was a really nice lunch, guys. Just packing away my last little bits, disassembling the bow for the bow drill. And yeah, just wanted to say a massive thanks for tuning in. And until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.